Hey, Rap, as soon as I saw you come on the panel, bro, that's why I said you had to hurry up and change that topic.
They don't play around here with that, bro.
You know me, I come in here fucking guns. You know me, I don't play that shit. I come in here firing. This shit is locked loaded. Don't make Chris throw up the smoke. You bring it. You want the smoke? I got smoke. I've been gone for a long time. I got a lot of smoke. Executive. Yeah, that's my brother right there.
Had a whole house full of them.
Man, that family is crazy, man. If you really like do some research about them, they wasn't all right in the
age. Yo, this man says apple falls because of the weight of it, the wind resistance, and the age. I'm dead.
That's actually, it's actually right. From the stem, it falls because the stem gets old and it gets to the point where it's ready to be eaten. So, as you see, as all fruits that's grown on trees that falls, that's just what's happening. It's getting ready. It gets to a point. That's why you have fall. It gets to a point, even leaves itself. You have a point where it gets to a point where it's ready and it preserves all the vitamins, potassium, natural sugars, and all that other stuff. However, the stem ages and it weakens. However, there's weight to it, so it's not going to stay up there. It's going to fall.
Even have you got a pecan tree, you got an acorn tree, all that shit just falls straight down when it's ready.
Check this out. Do you have autumn and spring? Autumn is fall. So you have autumn and spring? You don't have autumn and spring. The wind blows all the time, and you just don't have a whole bunch of green, healthy leaves on your lawn. It don't happen that way. However, in fall, when that wind blows, it's in your reality. We see it all the time.
Right. It just shoots straight down. It ain't nothing. It don't stand up in the air, in the middle of the air. It just goes right down.
Yeah.
You watch the leaf is full. It's gonna keep swinging down all the way down to the ground.
Every season, and even the weed that you smoking, it's old. According to this, it's old. It's ready. It's dead. Not dead in the sense that it's gone. It has nothing. Has no nourishment in it. No, it's dead to the point it's ready to be picked and ready to be used. Just like all your seasonings. No seasoning or anything grown on this earth is ready when it's freshly grown. No, it gets to the point where it's ready to be picked. And at that point, from the plant, it's dead. That comes off of the plant, or it's ready to be picked or extracted.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I ain't got nobody back. Hold on.
Real quick before y'all jump in.
Nothing. Nope.
That's why it's important that when a baby's born, you let the placenta come off by itself, the umbilical cord. That's part of being ripe.
Shut up. Man, he talking about acting real soon and shit. He got my back. Nobody's back, man. Not with that. Because gravity, like I'm saying, man, gravity can be measured in multiple ways, and this conversation can go on in trillions of different ways because it's just depending on how we're measuring it. You know what I mean? And the understanding of what gravity is first. So from then we can move on the gravity thing. But I don't know. Some people are still on it, kind of stuck. So, like I'm saying, man.
Is gravity a constant force?
I mean, it has to. We're always in the same place, pretty much. We're always in a constant motion.
But bubbles rise. So, is it selective?
And butterflies fly.
Butterflies' bodies are basically lighter than, you know what I mean? They're light as hell. They're hollowed. What? Say it, girl. Come on, shit.
Hey, go ahead, got it. Go ahead.
Come on. Still here biting their tongue.
Well, I don't know, because if we go back to the whole thing that I mentioned, like bubbles may rise because what are in bubbles? What is? Are we talking bubbles in heat? Like as in boiling, or a bubble that we blow with whatever chemical we just made?
No, I mean, or soap bubbles. You can do that, or you can do bubbles in the ocean because bubbles in the water rise.
Then you start talking about water. Then like all the other plays into water. So I think it really is just an endless definition because even the butterfly flying, it could be the force that it generates with the wings. Not just the air, but like the frequency of it.
Yeah, but the butterfly's not constantly generating that wing span. There's a point where the butterfly stops flapping, so gravity should be able to pull it down.
Just like a bird.
Then maybe the way that the wing is formed is different from how we perceive our perception of gravity because we don't have that formation. So because of their
but then that gives gravity a conscience.
Everything has a conscience. I believe everything has a conscience.
So you think gravity has a conscience?
Yeah, if we want to.
So you think it knows when to pull and push?
I mean, I think gravity is only a word because we're using it because we're in this, whatever you want to call this. In this reality, so it's a word that we're using now because whatever reason.
See, sis, you're getting to something that's important, but you're missing one key step. You're still following the indoctrination. You're not letting your mind open up completely.
She's almost there, though.
She's almost there. She's almost there.
She's low key agreeing with us, brother. I'm just saying. Don't hate. Don't get mad at her. I'm just saying. She low key agreeing with us.
I don't think you say that. Don't say it again. You can't come up.
You don't see that how you're agreeing with us. You still don't understand what we're saying.
You're kind of really agreeing with our theory.
I'm definitely not stating an opinion to agree or disagree with anybody.
I mean, okay. Well, you're kind of more explaining what we explain in this realm of this subject, which you would say. Yeah. So basically, you're still supporting what we're saying.
Yeah, basically.
Either way, you're still supporting what we're saying.
I'll say that. I've said it before. I think it's like to come up with the answer for like everything and anything in one sentence or paragraph, let alone one screen, is pretty senseless. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have the answers for everything. There's so much out there that we don't know. You know, we learn every day about life and shit. But,
yeah, I like what she said when she said it's like it's kind of like an endless debate in a way, you know, because we don't really have the proper wording for, you know, what's actually going on, what's actually being measured, what's actually being aimed. You know, we're just going off of what the indoctrination has given us and trying to make sense of what we actually see and what we can make sense of due to, you know, bubbles or due to flies or, you know, gnats, butterflies, anything, apples, fruits, things we've all talked about or discussed in this, you know, in this conversation. Yeah. But I think it's how we're discussing it. I think it's great. It's no rah rah da 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 da. It's no oh you're wrong. That's da 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 da. No, like everybody have their own perception of how they see things and respectably talking about it and discussing it. It's an honor, all of that. So thank you, everybody.
By what?
You gotta be the big sis. Come on.
About how I think all you niggas is fuck niggas and y'all ain't said shit right now. And that's talking about. Y'all don't know what the fuck you talking about. Where did you get that information from?
Tuning in all that time.
I just came on the tail end of it. I was just playing.
Hey, Chris, I just want to say something right quick to executive session. Executive sessions, how you like
Sunray, pass that over.
Salute the guy body in the building. What's going on, brother? Salute.
Salute, guy body, salute.
Look at God, y'all. Look at God.
So, how many flat earthers are on the panel?
How many flat earthers is on the panel? I just lean more to the flat earther, but I'm not a full flat earther, so I can't answer this. Y'all know me, I used to say neutral, so.
Alright, so I know me, 50% of Chris, Sunray, Kirk.
Nah, I'll be up on that, like, neutral to, like, yeah, it's weird.
Right, so 50% of you, 50% of Chris makes one. So me, y'all, and Kirk. So that's 3 of us.
Yep. Hey, don't forget the real soon his girl she 50% too.
Yeah,
well, she 50%. Right? So we got 3.5. Right. We getting up there.
Okay, so you got the other 50 of me, and you got the other 50 of Sunray, and you got the real soon, so that's 2.
And me and Kirk.
I help you, bro.
And me and Kirk.
Yep.
All right.
I mean, and there's so many facts, and at the end of the day, like whatever the answer is, how's it going to be beneficial to our lives? You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, it does benefit our lives because we learn how the actual world naturally works, and that's the micro and the macro, as within, so without, as above, so below. So once you learn how where you live actually functions, you can learn how you function even more.
Absolutely.
And what your connection is to,
the land,
what the creator made to function.
Yeah. That's how the Australian Indigenous live, man. They live from the land, and it's a gift. We got to look after it. Everything comes from it. It's a beautiful
man,
thing,
don't be trying to break what he said, man. You word that shit perfect. Man, son, Ray, you better roll some weed, man. What you talking about?
Nah, I'm telling you the real, man. They still living like that to this day.
I'm just fucking with you, bro. Nah, you good. I'm just fucking with you.
To this day, they're living in that same sense that he's doing. He's talking about having that connection.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. As above, so below. That's how it goes.
Facts.
Shit, don't the sun go to sleep?
No.
Who said no? Who said no?
Right here.
Oh shit! Don't the sun don't go to sleep?
Yeah, no.
So the sun don't go out on your ass?
Burning in space, bro.
The sun don't go out on your ass?
That shit never turns off. The sun can't go to sleep. We're just getting some night. We're just getting nighttime.
So even the sun got to recharge.
You always see the sun.
That shit. Hey, we're turning, bro. The other side of the earth is getting the sun, bro.
Wait, you said we're turning?
The other side of the earth is
We're moving.
We're moving where? Where are we moving?
Hey,
where?
What? You moved to another state?
Another state, another state.
bruh. Listen.
Don't make me bring the hammer on this one.
China, as soon as the sun goes down, bruh, the other side of the globe's getting the sun, my G.
So if I dig from New York straight underground, I'm gonna hit China.
Hold on, real quick. I just want to say this. Just like when the fire go out, you seen a fire go out, right? You seen it just go and just exactly how the sun leaves you, right?
It doesn't go out though. The sun doesn't go out. It's still a ball of heat blazing in
The light switch. They didn't tell you it was a light switch to turn the sun on? And then they push the button and then it come up?
That's part of the Con Ed tax.
Okay. Go ahead.
Hold on,
Stop playing with y'all.
my brother in the corner. I got a question for you. Alright, so I'm gonna explain how the heliocentric model works and what you believe in. So you believe in that the Earth, rotates 1,000 miles at the equator, right?
Definitely. Okay.
You also believe that the Earth rotates the sun at 67,000 miles an hour, right?
Earth rotates the sun.
It orbits the sun at 67,000 miles an hour.
Alright.
You also subscribe to the sun dragging the Earth 500,000 miles an hour through space, right? Huh?
What do you say? I subscribe? What do you say?
Do you subscribe to the sun dragging the Earth 500,000 miles through the endless darkness of space?
Yeah.
Do you also subscribe to being ejected at 1.3 million miles from the Big Bang?
Nah.
No?
Nah, I don't believe in
You
the Big
subscribe
Bang.
to the Big Bang Theory?
Nah, I don't believe in the Big Bang Theory.
So how can you believe that the Earth is spinning and also orbiting the sun?
Alright, pretty much. Alright, ready? Throughout time, we evolve, okay? There's different models that's been breaking down through periods of time, and we evolve onto that. We don't stop at one point and say, alright, this didn't go well, so we're gonna stop this and stop it right here in this point. We continue to evolve and move forward and evolve. We don't stop at this person that said, hey, the earth was flat, and this person got killed because he had a different thought that the earth was a sphere and was freaking flying through the Milky Way at 1,000 miles per hour or whatever it is. I don't know the exact number, but
Can I ask you a question?
yeah,
Where does your information come from that you subscribe to?
there's plenty of different sources out there. So,
Absolutely. Just name a few.
I can't name something off top.
Now, I can guarantee your sources started 500 years ago with the heliocentric model.
All right,
And none of that predates ancient history or ancient models or ancient information.
so where's
And
your? How is your source more reliable than my source?
Because my source were the ancients that left the information behind. Your source are the people who are interpreting the information in a way of school of thought. When we don't subscribe to a school of thought, we subscribe to free thinking.
Man, that's a mic drop.
I guess.
That's a mic drop.
Well said. Damn.
That nigga real soon thinking now.
I'm thinking. I can't say shit.
No, it's good to think because there's information out there that predates the heliocentric thought process and the indoctrination of that. And it's, we're seeing through sacred geometry what the symbols are and what they mean.
Mm-hmm. Everything out here for you to pay attention to.
Absolutely. Because think about this. Now, where I was trying to get that with those questions was, if you subscribe to all those speeds, right? You know the pyramids in Egypt, right? You got me? You hear me?
Speaking to me or the whole like?
No, I'm talking to you.
All right.
So you know the pyramids in Egypt, right?
Okay.
You know they were aligned with the 3 stars, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Now this was over 5,000 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we're spinning 1,000 miles an hour, orbiting the sun at 67,000 miles an hour, while the sun drags the Earth through an ever-expanding universe at 500,000 miles an hour, how can we still see the same the same stars line up
millions of miles away, trillions of miles away?
It doesn't matter if you're billions of miles away. In 5,000 years, there's something called parallax, where at this point in the speed that we're going, in the ever-expanding universe, everything is being projected in different ways. So at this point, we should either see the dimming of the star or the stars brightening up. Now, the stars have been the same exact light since the dawn of time.
Do you know which part of the universe that we sit in?
And we're in the Milky Way.
Okay.
According to heliocentric model.
And you believe that?
No, absolutely not. I just know what they teach.
Yeah. Like, if
I know both sides by heart.
Like if you take a basketball, Spalding basketball, right? Let's just say the logo on the basketball, Spalding, is the pyramids, right? That's the pyramids. That's the globe Earth. It's spinning, spinning, spinning. However, it's always aligned with what is the star constellations it's aligned with?
Orion's Belt.
Orion's Belt, yeah. So if we're spinning, we're not that pyramid cannot be always aligned with Orion's Belt. That just it don't work that way. You spin a ball and see if your eyes will always be aligned with Spalding if it's spinning. No, there's going to be a point where it spins and you're not going to be able to see it, so it's going to be off. No, that's perfect alignment with the constellations millions and millions of miles away. It just don't happen. Like, you can't get that, Not on a spinning ball.
I think executives should come up here too, You have much to say in the chat.
Oh shit! You said stop being a chatty patty.
I'll just leave it at that, I'm up here, brother. I'm here to teach and build with you.
Your ass on up, executive.
Come on, executive.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Like a legit question.
Mm-hmm.
So if the world, like if it were to be flat, and if the area of the flat surface, like if the sun was to go around that flat surface, would it be possible for our side to be dark and the one side to be light, or does it have to shut off?
Who wants to explain it?
Possible. Of course, it's possible.
I think it's possible. It's possible because I think there's more to this plane than just what we know. What we mean by flat is not, everything is completely flat. The main plane, it's on the main foundation of this plane is flat. According to the ocean, ocean is what 70-80% of this plane. So if everything is floating on ocean, then and the ocean is sea level, if sea level is balanced, we're on a flat plane. So and even to what you said, I think that could be possible, because I think that there's more than like I said, more than what we just know or been shown with just the ring that we in of the Arctic walls and shit. So, and I think there's just more land, more life outside of that. And I think that's probably where they got all these other animals and stuff from, or these other little thought processes of, fucking dinosaurs and shit. How do we know where dinosaurs came from? Who made up dinosaurs? How do you know what is a dinosaur? How do we know that is an actual dinosaur? Or was it something that they was exploring? Because we know that they go and explore stuff beyond of what we can explore, because we can't go to those walls. We can't go beyond those walls, but they have the technology to do it. So where do some of this other stuff come from? So we just leave. I try to keep my mind open to stuff like that. So I see what you're saying.
I just have like a lot of questions, because it's just so many ways that you can answer and so many ways you can question it. That really is just like an infinite thing we're trying to figure out.
Oh, come on, man.
I don't know why they go for it.
That loud
Somebody got that crazy ringtone.
Every 10 minutes, her phone ringing.
Nah, you good? Keep talking, got it.
Nah, I was playing.
But another question I also had back to, I'm not sure the source that he's saying, because I definitely, I've always been interested in being able to read that source that he's saying, like the ancient, back to what we're interpreting.
Mm-hmm.
But so if we go back to that time when we were living in those times, so when they were writing that, or when they were living in that, were they living knowing, or were they searching the truth and they discovered by believing that they were being able to do so? Was there a source that they were being with as well, or were they living and knowing that they were the source creating what it was?
Nah, that's a good question. Now that goes into understanding, and I'll even be 100% honest with you. This is a belief, and a lot of flat earthers subscribe to this belief of conception. We were conceived at one point. Everything, which a baby, a mother, a grandmother, a grandfather, a cousin, a sister, a brother, all conceived at the same time. No evolution, none of that. In that conception, through sacred geometry and learning the symbols, the natural symbols of the earth, it has been concluded that there is no exiting the way we are taught, with rockets going to space and all these things. It's been concluded that energy cannot be created nor destroyed.
Definitely.
So when you die, that vessel is gone, but your energy is not. You have now transformed into something different.
So do you subscribe to reincarnation and anything in that factor?
In my personal belief, I do subscribe to incarnation. I do subscribe into you reap what you sow. So if you do seek knowledge, if you do seek spirituality, you do follow your chakras and things of that nature, I believe you can ascend to the next level. They always talk about the 7 heavens. They talk about 7 rings of the earth. Saturn, that's where we get a lot of that Saturn worship, which is sun worship. So reincarnation, I solely believe in that, because if that energy is not ready to leave, it comes here, which is, that term, oh, that person has an old soul.
So another question would be, so in that time that you're talking, what was there a God, and what was it?
Good question. We're taught God to be a man sitting at a throne in a kingdom, or some type of male deity. The God or entity that I would say was worshipped was the creator, the Mother Earth, because it's understood that without female, there is no conception. Everything has to be birthed, which is what we see today in this world.
Yes. So then, I had a question that left here.
That's cool. Take your time. You're good.
And that's the thing, the information stems back, a long time. It's been interpreted different ways by many different people. But the key thing, and I know Chris can subscribe to this, I know Cuzzo can subscribe to this, I know Sunray can subscribe to this, I know Nikki C can subscribe to this, and I know Kirk can subscribe to this. The sacred geometry that you find, that you can see within all cultures, that point to certain things.
I remember my question. So in those times, back in what we're interpreting the ancient times, when they passed away and they died, what did they believe that was there a soul that traveled, or what did they believe?
Well, I would say, yeah, absolutely. Because in those times, people did do a lot of meditating. They did work on their chakras, and there was a lot more spirituality versus religion.
So did they believe they would die and incarnate in a different planet? Or did they believe there was the 7 heavens that you're saying that they would all incarnate to?
Well, some thought not that you will go to a different planet, but that you do reincarnate to different places. Because look at the Egyptians. Look how they mummified their pharaohs so that when they go to the next plane, and they even said it, not to the next planet, to the next plane of existence where they go to. And they continue on. So even there, that expresses the transfer of energy and leaving the body vessel behind. And that was, only 5,000 years ago. So if we even go back further, it'll only stem back further, because that information, the further you go, the fresher the information is. It's not watered down as we get to now in 2020.
So I don't know where I get it from, or where I believe, what to even call it, but what I believe in is there was not the Big Bang Theory or whatever, I don't even know what to call it, but there was this one energy source, light, frequency, conscious, all in one. We may perceive it to be, and that conscious wanted to experience different expressions of itself, and we're all that projection of it. We're that one conscious creator, light being, and we're all whatever God, whatever word we want to use, we're all just little fragments of it trying to figure itself out and experience a life journey or whatever we may call it here on Earth is one of the most particular, intriguing ways because we have a brain. I believe there's other places and whether they're planets, whether they're that places. I don't really even bother to really define it. It just is. I feel like there's even other places where we're all just kind of experiencing and journeying and filling that one energy source out. And then when we do die, I believe there's different places that we may go. So even if we were in ancient times, I feel whether they were believing that they were going to go back to source, which is that original energy light, or we haven't journeyed or we haven't passed those soul stages or whatever, whether we don't use soul, if we use a different word, but those stages that we are kind of, I feel like there's different stages before we get back to that one energy source, that one original creator, birth, what you want to.
Nice, damn.
So those levels, I feel like eventually as we journey and find our own truth and define what we believe in, we kind of surpass those levels. And as we surpass those levels, we are open to more truth, and we're kind of given more truth in the same time because our minds are so open and receptive or receiving, I guess. So as we journey through those phases and those stages, we eventually will kind of go back to source and decide to even leave again because we want to experience new things.
No, and that's good because you're on point to something there. Because when you say that, source comes from light, let's look at it this way. In conception, you come from the dark into the light. Mm-hmm. So the source was the darkness. Mm-hmm. The light is the physical. That's what you see. Mm-hmm. That's what the light brings, reality. In order to get what we have, it has to be conceived. It had to be thought.
It's the yin and the yang.
Exactly. It's the yin and the yang. And you know what that leads to? That yin and yang? That leads to flat earth. That yin and yang leads to flat earth. That leads to sun and moon. That leads to polarity. That leads to duality.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
See, it's hard to say, I subscribe to flat earth or some things flat earth, but you're on point with a lot of things that lead to flat earth when it comes to that concept. But it's hard to see other things because we've been so ingrained and we had to pass these stupid little tests in school to memorize their information. And we think it's so true because we think they had our best interest at hand when that wasn't the case. Because
sorry, go ahead.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I feel like I personally have taken off even the thought or the urge or the nerve or the tie to even define what we're standing on looks like. I feel like whatever shape we believe it to be is what it's going to be. If all the earth believes it's a fear, it's going to project itself as a fear. If we believe it's flat, then it'll project itself as flat. So I feel like it's kind of an indefinite shape. It doesn't even need to be defined. It kind of just is because we're on it and we're projecting it to be, we're manifesting it.
And that's a good way to look at it too, because that shows free thinking. But if you think you're a sphere in the void of space, that does constrict your thinking. It doesn't let you expand.
But then that also goes to show the person's stage or their journey is to which they've opened their mind to or been able to learn or take in and hold. Sometimes people will hear it and they're not ready to really accept it, and they haven't the other small points to it to really grasp it. because you can't really give somebody a key point without having the underlying information.
That's right. And that due time they need to hydrate, they need to eat, and, you know, that's the main things of life, man, survival and things like this. So, you know, as I said before, what difference would it make in the sense of if it's flat or if it's a sphere in the benefit of our life and our living standard or whatnot. But as you were saying, the realities and the concepts that it could be any shape because it's our perception. It could be spherical to somebody, it could be obtuse to somebody, it could be flat to someone. It's their reality or whatnot. But I just think, like, either way, let's just, like, you know, try and make a benefit for humankind because we're all living on this together, or what we are living together, and what we can be.
Like, another thing I want to bring up also is something you said earlier, like about I'm not sure exactly how you said it, but you mentioned something how like humanity wants to know what we stand on, like that's the source that kind of leads us to I forgot what you said, so as above so below. So what we're standing on, like our earth, we want to know the shape so that we can perceive. I feel like the shape is the end. Like, why are we so fixated on the shape and what we're standing on so that we can project forward? Rather than doing that, we should kind of, one, start with ourselves and kind of understanding what we believe and the system and all of this other bullshit that's in front of us. Sorry to say, but like,
you're right.
We kind of
Yeah, don't be sorry, man. Don't be sorry.
Speak your mind.
Fuck them, motherfucker.
Y'all building this.
But once we push that all the way, we can kind of sit down and realize and start to think about other things. Like, once every single human on this earth knows how to grow food or something like that, maybe then we'll be able to, all of us, take the next step and not only know how to grow a food, but we'll all know how to interact kindly, or the next step, eventually all as humanity, taking little steps like that will eventually lead us to the end goal and be able to look down on Earth and realize the shape that we were standing on, rather than that being our first goal.
That's a fact.
I
That's
like
a good
that
point.
already.
Yeah, no, that's an awesome point right there.
Yo, bro, make sure she is here on Thursday, which is Thursday.
He is
Every
very close.
Thursday is actually what we call Her Day, which is dedicated to all the goddesses. What you want to talk about, what you have a perception on, is y'all. It's all about y'all, and you will be a great addition. Come here and just give your views on whatever the topic is.
I like that. I would love to join that.
I like what you were saying though. Like, she was really pretty much saying everything we were saying, but she just had her different way of saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's all it is. That shows that shows how genuine and real we are, that we all have our different perceptions to the same truth.
That's just.
Oh yeah, that was dope.
That was dope.
That's all it takes, just a little bit. We become a flat earth.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. All I need is just a little bit.
See, I'm waiting for Cousin to come back. We sparked this blunt, you know what I'm saying? Smoking laughing. This shit is smoking. This shit is cooking right now. We cooking.
Yeah, we're definitely cooking today.
Executive sessions just gotta come up on the panel one time. You get some of this knowledge. And stop all this shit.
Executive, come out and play.
If y'all haven't got executive sessions at this point.
Oh no! When I go to Cali, me and Executive we're gonna smoke a L and just chop it up.
Cheers to everybody, man.
All I'm gonna say is,
Bon.
family like to stir the pot a little bit. That's all I'm saying. So, after that, you start feeding into it. That's up to you. That's all I'm going to say.
Reagan, stony over there.
Yep.
Every day, brother. All day, man. Stay with this shit.
Damn, you guys got executive turned up. He typing in capitals and shit.
You screaming? Don't you be yelling at us in text?
We get back into
That's
Time
fact.
to digress.
Where is digression time now?
Right. Digress. You
'Cause,
digress.
No, I said time
Chris,
must. Oh, there
Chris
she is.
feels my pain now on the East
I
Coast.
see him.
Right.
Real soon, you quiet now, my nigga.
Nah, it's been a fire build though. I ain't gonna front.
Oh, most definitely.
He said, "Hey, Raph, he's sitting up there thinking, like, man, my girl, she almost a flat earther now, so I don't know."
He's like, damn, my head is spinning like this earth.
Nah, hey, you know what's funny? I actually came in that day just trolling this shit, but like, I know a lot about the whole flat earth shit, bro. I just wanted to get y'all riled up, but like, since I came in here, I had to stick with it, man. You feel me? But definitely, man, like, hey, definitely believe in like quite a bit of that shit. I just want to, feel me, throw y'all in a little loop and shit one day.
Oh, we got all the loops.
We got
We got all the loops.
all the loops. We break them.
Yep.
We can show you. We can show you how. We can show you how to break.
You know, talking about like the ice thing, bro. Like I heard about like little shit like that, bro. Like when they went out and just like the technology and shit, just going out all the way out to like the ice and shit. They don't have the technology just to go out all the way out there below sea level, all that type shit. You know what I mean? So just I don't know, man. Just a lot of shit I heard. Holes in the ground, motherfucker flying over the fucking crater of the earth and shit. See, I don't know, bro. A lot of shit. So it's just fascinating stuff, bro. It's just
Expand on one of them if you
definitely, I'm
want.
very open-minded to like everything that I come across. I just want to always hear like other people's opinion on stuff. You know what I mean?
Right on.
See where they're coming from and like, you know, I don't want to immediately be like, yeah, man, I agree with you. You know, I like fucking around with people and shit.
Yeah, feel free to expand on those points you were talking about, like the craters or the ice rings and all this stuff like that. The knowledge that you can help us out, get our viewpoint. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. Link with like-minded people.
And definitely, when I first like heard about like, you feel me, like the whole like movement just kind of starting up again, like early like 2017 and shit. Like I don't know, there was like a whole like jump of people who started hopping on like the bandwagon and just like flat Earth and just like, you know what I mean? It was like pushing so much. So I was picking up on a lot of stuff like the star trajectory and stuff, how everything was like the loops and little shit like that. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff was just real fascinating. So I always want to see like their side of stuff and like the other. You feel me? So like I'm saying, I know both sides, bro. Like, you feel me? Can't even talk right now.
But now you know.
What state you in, bro? I'm actually in Australia, so it's like big trip. But I was wondering, man, where you two at? What
Who,
state? Yeah.
I'm in Cali, California.
Oh, nice. Got that high grade.
He ain't too far from where I'm at.
Oh, nice.
Wait, Who's in Australia?
Well, I'm in Atlanta right now, just visiting my family and stuff, but I live in LA as well.
Australia.
Is that why you're standing with him? I was wondering.
Yeah, I'm from Australia. I'm born in Australia, but my parents are from Fiji. So like,
Yeah, he be fighting kangaroos and shit.
but I'm born in Australia, and I moved state too, so I'm living in another place from where I was born. But I've been to Fiji 15 times. I feel more at home there than anywhere else.
Executive sessions be going in.
I know Fiji, they're like some
That nigga be wildin'.
Say what? What did you say? About Fiji?
That's my nigga.
It's a beautiful
That's
place.
my nigga though.
that are some natural healers from Fiji.
Oh yeah, yeah, man, absolutely.
That's really beautiful. They're really
With
nice
plans.
people. They're
Oh,
so
fact.
wow,
Yeah, man, naturalist.
beautiful
What's wrong with cousin?
Huh?
What's wrong with cousin? Because it's sitting there like,
None. It's cold as a motherfucker outside. I just can't walk in the dog.
he said he don't want to talk to you about no damn flat earth.
No, I'm good. I'm listening. Shit, really, we just came back from chilling at other people's house and shit like that. So I really gonna put a lot of that energy over there.
Yo, wow in the comments, bro.
Cuz look like he about to be in the Rap City, the basement booth. About
Yeah,
to spit a code 16.
yeah.
Ready in the booth and shit. He like,
But my ass is doing that shit in my head over here. You know, mommy mode.
shit,
Much
y'all,
love, cuz.
get out of here.
That's love, Rafael. But I'm here though. I'm still thugging it though. I'm
That's how
thugging it.
we do it.
But for real though, the dog really just took a shit in somebody else's yard and shit. And I forgot to tell him bad, so I just really came back. Like I really ran back up the street and came back. And it's cold as hell, so some nigga stiff as fuck.
Oh shit.
That nigga executive session gotta go, bro.
Oh,
That nigga stupid, bro.
executive sessions, man. Commentate, man. Commentate.
Y'all put me cut it. Going down with that dog, you put my
He's on your feet.
Oh shit.
Say what?
I'm rolling. I'm rolling.
He said he believe in hollow earth. Who want to smoke? Don't fuck with him, y'all. Don't fuck with him.
Don't believe him. Don't believe him.
Don't fuck with him, y'all.
He gonna leave you a hollow Dutch and no weed.
Facts.
Oh shit.
Oh man. He just
Nah, shout out to Executive. Sponsored by Executive Sessions. Nah, I mean, you should drop that. You should drop that beat.
Oh, okay. Hold on, y'all. We got that grace. We gotta drop that beat. Hold up.